Well, hello there, my friend. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Or today, whenever it is that you're watching this, thank you very much for joining me. I just realized that Robin's gonna have my hide. My light is on in the background. Bang! There we go. Gotta get the set, guys. Gotta be professional about this. Gotta be a professional YouTuber here. Welcome to the channel. Hey, on my channel, we talk about true crime. We like to cut through all the sensationalism and fluff of true crime, and we like to try to make a difference, and we've got an opportunity where we can do that here. So we're going to talk about a case tonight. You guys already know what it is because of the title and everything. But before we do that, did you know that Baby Gavin is missing? Baby Gavin is missing. Baby Gavin is missing, and you can help find him by playing the Great 2025 Baby Gavin Treasure Hunt. It's just all in good fun. We've got like 450 people playing. 19 people so far have figured it out. It's a 20 clue treasure hunt that will lead you to find missing Baby Gavin. So use the link in the description down below if you want to play, or just go to gavinfish.com, click on treasure hunt at the top. It's one of those where we give you a clue. You have to solve the clue. If you solve the clue, that'll take you to a place on the internet where there will be a link that you click that will prove that you solved that clue. Then you get another clue, and then another and another until you get to the final clue. 20 clues in total. Should be lots of fun. While we're over here, I also want to encourage you to visit us on Facebook. Head on over to the Fish Tank. It is our group. We've got over 5,100 people there in the group now. We talk about all sorts of things related to true crime, including the cases that we cover here. And with that out of the way, without further ado, guys, we have got a middle-aged couple that have been murdered. 43-year-old Clinton Brink, 41-year-old Cristen Brink, spouses, husband and wife, parents to beautiful children. Now, I'm not going to show pictures of the children because the children tragically were on a hike with their parents when a suspect, a perp, let's say, approached them and violently killed them with the children there. These are kiddos that are going to need help. These are kiddos that are going to need, I mean, so much help, guys, is going to have to. In fact, that just reminds me, I know there's a GoFundMe campaign. I want to be sure to show you guys this because these kiddos are going to need a lot of help, and we can help them out. Yeah, there it is. So far, there's almost $17,000 raised for the funeral expenses of Clinton and Cristen Brink. Somebody in the one of my awesome mods, maybe put that link in the live chat, will you? We're not going to focus on that part of it, but if you feel no guilt, no pressure, but if you feel like you would like to or can help lay these folks to rest, please do. Okay, so the Brinks. Let's talk about them just a little bit. We're going to talk about the case. I don't have tons of information on their background, but the information that I have thanks to my volunteer Kelsey, who, when I put out the call for some research, she did it for us. So what we know about the Brinks is that they were married on September 7th, 2014. So there have been about 11 years. They moved to Miles City, Montana in 2015. And they recently moved from Miles City, which I think is like right on the border of Montana. Maybe it doesn't matter. But they moved to Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Now we're going to channel our inner Gisela here, okay? Let's head on over and do a little bit of map time. Zooming out, we are in the Midwestern United States. I don't know if that's technically the Midwest or if it's the South. Arkansas is probably the South. That's probably what we want to call it. But right near the border of Oklahoma, on the western side of Oklahoma, lies the town of Prairie Grove. That's what we're talking about here. Now, near Prairie Grove, There is a state park. We're going to zoom in on this too, called Devil's Den State Park. It's very close to Prairie Grove. You can tell that it is a rural area. It's out in the wilderness, uh, heavy woods, and plenty of hiking trails. And that's what's going on in that state park. Um, so let me get back to my notes from my researcher, Kelsey. So they moved to Prairie Grove about 3 weeks ago, according to NBC News. Now, on July 16th, like just a few weeks ago, that's when we find out that their water service was turned on. So I mean, they've just barely established themselves there in Prairie Grove. Now, that's all we know. And I don't know that we need to know much more. All we need to know is that these folks were out on a hike in Devil's Den State Park when their lives were just tragically taken. I want to take us over to a document. Where is it, Gavin? Here we go. Okay, there have been three press releases from the Arkansas State Police. I want to take them in order so that we understand kind of how the case unfolded. Okay, so this is July 26th. What is that? Is that Sunday? Or Saturday? It's Saturday, the 26th. Okay. Oh, well, it says it right there, Gavin. Come on. On Saturday, July 26th, 2025, at about 2:40 p.m., Arkansas State Police was notified of a double homicide at Devil's Den State Park in Washington County. A 43-year-old man, that is Clinton Brink, and a 41-year-old woman, his wife, Cristen Brink, were found dead on a walking trail. We actually have a very small snippet of audio of what has been released in the media. Now, Kelsey, my intrepid and amazing researcher, has put in a public records request to get it. But let me just play this for you. It's 39 seconds. We're going to listen to this, okay?
Do we need to sweep the coastal trails or just stay on the main trail?
Cover the main trail right now first.
These are two state police officers or troopers, whatever they call them, talking on the radio.
Oh.
Copy that.
How?
Sweep the main trail first right now.
Main trail? Like icebox, hiking down. For help.
Copy that. Say again. Repeat.
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
Try to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail. Just a couple minutes. I think I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
Okay, so it sounds like the male trooper there on lower Devil's Den Trail found the bodies of Clinton and Cristen. The female trooper could hear voices calling for help. I don't think I'm taking a huge leap here by saying that was likely the children. They're young, ages 7 and 9. Okay. Okay, the suspect in their deaths is an unknown white male wearing dark shorts, a dark tank top, and weightlifting type gloves. He was seen driving toward a park exit in a black four-door sedan, they said on the 26th. The suspect's vehicle may be a Mazda with a license plate covered by electrical or duct tape. It may have been traveling on State Highway 170 or State Highway 220 near the park. Now, why are they putting this information out there? If somebody is driving a car with electrical tape or duct tape on their license plate, that is going to stand out to a driver. It's just going to stand out to them. So if there are any drivers out there that were driving on Arkansas State Highway 170 or State Highway 220 near Devil's Den State Park, and you have a dash cam, please go back to Saturday and look to see if you can find anything. See if you can find that car, a black sedan believed to be a Mazda with electrical tape or duct tape on the license plate. You would have seen it. It would. I think this will jog your memory. Okay. A large law enforcement presence remains at the park as of the 26th. The investigation is ongoing. Arkansas State Police is pursuing all leads to apprehend the suspect. The deceased will be transported to the Arkansas State Crime Lab, where manner and cause of death will be determined. Anyone with information about the suspect or his whereabouts should call the State Police Troop L at 479 751 6663. So that's all they knew on Saturday. Okay, Sunday, we get a new press release, additional information on Devil's Den double homicide. Okay, West Fork, Arkansas, Dateline. A couple who was killed at Devil's Den State Park on Saturday the 26th was hiking with their two daughters when they were attacked. Two little girls, the girls who are 7 and 9, were not injured and are safe with family members. Guys, they were not physically injured, which is a blessing. But they were injured. And I'm not calling out the state police. They said it correctly. I'm just saying for us, this is a 7 and a 9-year-old. Like Kimberly and I have two little kiddos. Man, they're getting bigger and bigger. That are a little bit older than this, but I just can't even imagine my little kiddos having to witness something like that. So they were hiking with their girls, 7 and 9. The victims have been identified as Clinton David Brink, 43, and Cristen Amanda Brink, 41, who recently moved to Prairie Grove from another state. Again, like July 16th. About 2:40 p.m., the state police was notified of the double homicide at the park, located in Washington County. Mr. and Mrs. Brink were found dead on a walking trail. ASP's Criminal Investigation Division is handling the suspected homicide. Let's listen to this one more time.
Do we need to sweep the my closer trails or just stay on the main trail?
Cover the main trail right now first.
Oh,
Copy that.
how?
Sweep the main trail first right now.
Main trail? Like icebox, hiking down, looking for help.
Copy that. Say again. Repeat.
Hear yells calling for help. We're hiking down.
Try to relay to the office that we found the victims down here. They're on the lower Devil's Den Trail.
I don't think this is real time, by the
Just a couple
way.
minutes. I think I see you right there. I've got two bodies down here.
Yeah, so she could hear the kiddos, 7 and 9, calling for help. Oh, goodness. Investigators are asking those who visited the park on Saturday to check cell phone photos and videos or GoPro camera footage for images of the suspect. They are also asking residents in the area surrounding the park to notify ASP if they have access to security and game camera footage. The guys, this is such a huge game changer in the law enforcement game these days, right? Do you have game cameras along the highways on your private property? Do you have any security footage? Do you have anything did you have a GoPro on while you were hiking the trail? Would you have captured this person? Now we're going to get to this suspect. We're going to take a look at him here in a second, okay? But that, as of Saturday, this is what they're asking. The area of the park where the incident occurred remains cordoned off and secured by law enforcement. The park is located in a remote and rural area where the terrain is rugged, vegetation is thick, and there's no cell phone service. On Sunday, the 27th, ASP issued an updated description of the suspect after receiving additional information. And I'm sure they got that information from two little ones, man. Investigators now believe he was wearing a long sleeve shirt with sleeves rolled up rather than a tank top as originally reported. The suspect is an unknown white male with a medium build. He was wearing dark pants, a dark ball cap, and sunglasses. The suspect had a black backpack and was wearing fingerless gloves. He was seen driving toward a park exit in a black four-door sedan. Again, the suspect's vehicle may be a Mazda with a license plate covered by electrical or duct tape and may have been traveling on State Highway 170 or 220 near the park. Anyone with images of the suspect, information about the suspect, or his whereabouts should contact ASP Troop L. Again, 479 751 6663. Investigators urge anyone with photos or video to not post footage on social media, as this may inadvertently jeopardize the investigation. So I totally and completely respect law enforcement on that, but I'm telling you, I disagree with what they're saying. Completely disagree. Remember what I mean the great we, the great us, not me specifically, the great we. Remember what we did for Gabby Petito. Remember what we did for Jade and John Woo. Remember what we did for young, oh, why am I blanking here? Give me a second. Elisa Petrov, right? We can make a difference here. And I mean, law enforcement can request that. You don't have to listen to them. And I'm not giving you advice not to listen to them. I'm just saying we can help here. All right. Um, Shay Lewis, Secretary of the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism, issued a statement saying, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic events that occurred at Devil's Den State Park. Our hearts are with the victims' loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. The safety of our visitors and staff is our highest priority. We are working closely with the state police on various law enforcement officials as the investigation continues. We have increased law enforcement presence in our state parks. Our park rangers are fully commissioned law enforcement officers. They are actively engaged in ensuring the safety and security of our park guests. We remain committed." Okay, blah blah blah. The invest Basically she's saying we will try to keep you safe, right? The investigation is ongoing. The state police are pursuing all leads to apprehend the suspect. ASP is collaborating with all local, state, and federal enforcement partners. And then we want to thank the public and our media partners for their support as we pursue the man responsible for this heinous crime, said Colonel Mike Hagar. We are using all available resources to apprehend the suspect and bring him to justice. Okay, so that was as of Sunday. Now, bang, Monday, yesterday, we get a look at this. I'm going to give you a better look at it there. Okay. This is a sketch of the man in question. And this is a good sketch artist, man. Like, I'm not commenting on their artistic ability, which is obviously good, but like, this is a person that looking at this sketch, I might recognize, right? You can kind of the shape of the nose, kind of broad and square at the bottom, deep set eyes, kind of off. His mouth is not is kind of offset from his face, scraggly beard, chiseled jaw. I think this is somebody that somebody might recognize. So if you are in the area or we're in the area, take a close look at this image. This is the man that is the suspect. They say person of interest. Let's go back over here. Okay, scroll down. West Fork, Arkansas. The ASP released a composite sketch of a man seen in Devil's Den State Park on Saturday, the 26th. Investigators have asked the public for help in identifying this man. Let me bring it up one more time as I read this, so that they can question him related to a double homicide at the park. Investigators said the suspect in the death likely sustained an injury when attacking the couple. Okay, so this is yet another good clue, and good on the state police for letting us have some information. So if you see a guy with maybe some band-aids or a bandage on, or something, and he has some type of excuse of as to why he is injured, maybe still call the police, right? Even if it sounds plausible what he says about his injury. If he has a medium build, if he's got this look about him, if he has, especially if he has an injury, call the state police. Okay. Um, Let's see. The victims have been identified again as Clinton David Brink, Kristen Amanda Brink, who recently moved to Prairie Grove from another state. Couple was hiking with their two daughters when they were attacked. The girls, who are 7 and 9, were not injured and are safe with family members. Now, here's another bit that is important. The couple's family released the following statement on Monday, the 28th. This is important, guys. Okay? Quote, "The family is asking for privacy during this very difficult time as they grieve and learn how to navigate this new reality. They ask that if anyone has any information at all that will help the investigation, to please contact the proper authorities immediately. Clinton and Kristen died heroes protecting their little girls, and they deserve justice." They will forever live on in all our hearts. Now, I want to just put an exclamation point on this, okay? There are those of us who think that I don't want to disparage anybody who feels this way, but you think you might be able to help the family. For whatever reason, you think you're in a position to help the family. Please, for the love of all that is holy, leave them alone. Leave them alone. If they want to talk to the media, if they want to talk to anybody, they will start doing that. They will signal to us that they are willing to talk. Please, please, please do not reach out. Don't do it on Facebook. Don't do it on any social media. If you want to help the family, if you think that you know something, call police. 479-751-6663. But if you want to help the family beyond that, please go and donate to their GoFundMe. Okay? Um, Again, I think one of my amazing moderators, I haven't been looking at the chat, sorry guys, but I think one of our amazing moderators has already shared this link. If not, maybe they'll share it again, okay? If you want to help, this is the way to help. If you want to help law enforcement because you have a lead, contact law enforcement. Leave this poor family alone, please. And I'm confident that anybody watching this video already knows that, but it must be said. We must be said. We must say it, okay? Must be said. Okay, going back over here. So anyone with information about the suspect or his whereabouts should contact the Arkansas State Police, Troop L, 479-751-6663, or call 911. The state police has received numerous calls from the public with possible tips. If leaving a voicemail is necessary, calls will be returned as soon as possible. And then it repeats things that we already know. Okay. But this one is a big one right here. Okay. Why won't it let me? There we go. If you were around that state park on State Highway 170 or State 220, check your cameras, man. If you were hiking in the park, check your cameras. If you're just kind of chilling out, not really even hiking, but you were in the park, check all the pictures that you've taken, all the videos that you took. See if you can see that person. Okay, now there's one last piece that came out today. All right, and remember, we're talking about a young family. You know, Kelsey did a little bit of research on him. The reason that they had moved to the area is he was scheduled to start his job as a milk delivery driver at Prairie Farms Dairy, which was a parent company to Highland Dairy, which transferred him there. So he had worked for Highland Dairy and was transferred out there to Arkansas as a milk delivery driver. Can't imagine he was like the old school 50s and 60s taking milk to the doorstep. I think he was probably more of a guy taking milk from farms to the bottling, processing plant, stuff like that. I don't really know, but this was a family that were living and working together and trying to do well for one another. Father working hard, mother working hard, children, being kiddos. This is probably an ordinary family. And if we take at face value the family's statement, which I do, these are heroes here. These are people that we should aspire to be. People who would put the lives of their children ahead of their own. These are the kind of people we want to emulate. Okay, so one more thing that came out. I'm going to read it from a news release from 4029tv.com. Okay. West Fork, Arkansas. A married couple was killed while hiking at Devil's Den State Park with their two daughters on Saturday. Clinton David Brink, 43. Kristen Amanda Brink, 41. Here's their photo again. They were killed on a walking trail. Their two daughters, 7 and 9, were not hurt and are safe with family members. Arkansas State Police have released a photo and a composite sketch of a person of interest in the case. The photo was taken by someone on the trail on Saturday. It shows the person from behind appearing to look out to the trees. Okay, I'm going to bring this up like this. Black pants, looks like maybe a black sweatshirt, long sleeve. In the sketch, look at the guy's collar on the sketch, right? You can see it's kind of what would we call it, ruffled or whatever they drew it there. It does appear that the collar was wide. Okay, wearing a ball cap, carrying a backpack, and it almost looks like he had like a camel pack and then like a duffel bag. Those look like hiking shoes or hiking boots to me. Ears are kind of slightly protruding, medium build. Okay, this is who you're looking for, everyone. This is the guy we're looking for. That's the kind of build that we're after here. Again, here's the sketch. Let me show you the sketch. The sketch was drawn based on eyewitness descriptions. Let me actually open up that article here real quick. Let's see if it doesn't say who the eyewitnesses were. Doesn't, and they're calling him a person of interest. Okay, so getting back over here, police have been referring to the man in the photos as a person of interest, not a suspect. Police believe the killer was seen driving toward a park exit in a black four-door sedan. Might have been a Mazda with a license plate covered with electrical or duct tape from that exit. That vehicle could have traveled on State Highway 170 or State Highway 220. So again, look through your video, your dash cam. Okay, we also learned the FBI is helping the state police in the investigation by providing additional manpower and specialized resources, according to Jessica Franklin, agency spokesperson. If someone wanted to get away with a heinous crime, they would probably go to a place like this, said Angela Brown, an assistant professor of criminology at Arkansas State University. It lacks cell phone reception. That's an important factor. By the time the news got out, he's probably 100 miles away. This is this is the modern version, it sounds like, like the 1970s use by murderers and criminals of using the new highway system, getting out of Dodge as quickly as they can. Yeah, so perhaps this is pre-planned. I don't know. It seems that a majority of cases that are similar to this, it takes, a long time, months, years, even sometimes decades to solve these cases, Brown said. Hopefully, if this guy was injured, that means DNA. In fact, that might be the reason why they're saying he was likely injured. Hopefully, it means DNA. They found DNA from somebody else. Um, I hope so. I'm not saying that they did. I hope so. Um, ASP said he had a long sleeve shirt with sleeves rolled up, dark pants, dark baseball cap, sunglasses, a black backpack, and fingerless gloves. Fingerless gloves is kind of a weird thing. I think a person would notice that if they saw him. They believe he drove off in the black four-door sedan, possibly a Mazda, with the license plate covered in tape. Someone covering their license plate with some tape, that's a huge sign that this was kind of premeditated, said Brown. Yeah, I completely skipped over that. He didn't just tape it up to cover his tracks. Sounds like it was there and he was planning on doing it. The families of Clinton and Cristen told 4029 the couple and their two kids were walking on the Devil's Den hiking trail when the suspect attacked Clinton with a knife. This person probably has some type of experience with violence, said Brown. They're willing to stab two strangers with children around. Clinton and Cristen had just moved to Prairie Grove from another state. Prairie Grove is about an half-hour drive from Devil's Den. They were hiking on Saturday with their two daughters, 7 and 9. The girls weren't hurt in the attack, now safe with family members. And then the Brinks provided the statement that we already read. So we don't know much about the Brinks, but we know that they're heroes. We know that they protected their children. And we I think that we can infer, we can come to a reasonable conclusion that the suspect in this case, they're calling him a person of interest, but this is a person who planned it. And the evidence of that, according to Mr. Brown, is he put tape on his license plate. He did it in an area without cell phone coverage. He probably, I mean, I wonder if the reason that somebody had this picture is because he was trying to cover his face. He saw somebody on the trail, he turned around. Something like that. I don't know. Want to hear your comments, guys? Let's head on over to your comments. Maybe you have something that could be helpful in this. So let me just refresh my feed here, and let's see. JoJo says, Gavin, can you pull that picture of him on the trail back up and zoom in on it? Yeah, we can. In fact, let me do this. Let me open it a different way. We will open it over here. Yeah. So I'm gonna come over here, and then we can zoom up in on it, bring it kind of centered. So yeah, good idea, Jojo. So that his shirt to me almost looks like it could be some kind of like a sweatshirt or a sweater. It's got a very wide collar. Uh, he's got a scarf on in Arkansas in July. Is that what that looks like? Um, yeah. And then, there's the ball cap. It's not the kind that's fitted, has the little clicky thing in the back. Um, I'm sensitive to this because I have little pokey ears. It looks like his ears are kind of pokey outy, you know, going down. To me, it looks like that is, well, oh, you know what? This right here looks a like a design on his shirt, on his sweatshirt. I mean, that looks like a sweatshirt to me. The sleeve seams are clear down off of his shoulder. So this backpack might not be a camel pack. That looks just like a backpack now that I'm looking at it more closely. The This looks like a duffel bag that he has slung over. It makes me wonder if Devil's Den has like a disc golf course or something like that. Some kind of, I don't know, but I wonder if I don't, maybe that's just how he carried his tools. I don't know. Um, I can't tell because it looks like something is hanging down below. If that is from the bag, it does kind of look like it's from the bag, right? Because we see these stripes here, then we see these stripes here. You know what that almost looks like? That looks like one of those big backpacks that you put inflatable um, paddleboard on or paddleboard in. That looks like one of those giant backpacks that you put inflatable paddle boards in, like he was paddleboarding. That's exactly what that looks like to me. Because at first I thought the duffel bag ended here, but we've got these stripes here, we've got these stripes here. That is just continuing to go down. It is a giant, giant backpack. I would bet dollars to donuts that that is a paddleboard backpack. And I think, when we look at Devil's Den State Park, it is on a river. In fact, there's a dam right there. Yeah, and we've got docks, swimming pool. Y- I would bet dollars to donuts that is a paddleboard backpack. That's what it looks like. And then going back down, we've got dark pants, possibly jeans. The way that they're buckling does tend to look like it's a cotton duck fabric. And then he's wearing, I mean, the soles do look like they are hiking shoes or hiking boots. So I don't know. That's my mis dos centavos anyway, right? That's what I think. Hopefully, Jojo, hopefully that helped. That it did for me anyway. Thank you for that. Let's bring up our victims here. See if you guys are saying anything else. Intrepid Frady Cat said they now have footage of the suspect's car from a camera near the park. I wasn't able to find that, but let me see if I can. From Clinton and Cristen Brink murder. Photo of suspect. I don't have any reports in the news. Let me sort by date. So 3 hours ago, let me see if Oxygen has anything on that. All I'm seeing so far is the what I have shown you. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I just haven't been able to find it. So Freddy Cat, if you have it, give us a link, will you? And maybe I'll open up Slack. My Slack is open with my mods. If you can just put that in case research, um, I will. I will take a look. Okay. Meantime, let me see what else we got going. Yeah, maybe bigger. I think that backpack is a paddleboard backpack. Winifred said, Gavin, if it's a paddleboard backpack, there's really no place to paddleboard there. The area of water isn't paddleboardy. I don't know. I mean, um, I don't know the area. I've never been there, but to me, that kind of looks like a paddleboardy area. We've got the little lake there, some rivers, and I'm trying. There's West Devil Den Trail. There's Devil Den's Trail. I don't see Lower Devil's Den Trail, but to me, maybe what you're saying is it's shallow. But I mean, we paddleboard. We, my wife and our kids paddleboard. I haven't done it yet. I'm too busy working. But yeah, I, to, I don't know. To me, it sure does look like a paddleboard backpack. I mean, of course, you wouldn't be paddleboarding in like a sweatshirt and jeans in the middle of July in the south of the United States. Kind of weird. Very, very weird. Um, Crime and Consequence. Hello there. Let me see what else. Scarf maybe covering tattoos. Mooney says it doesn't look like a disc golf pack. I think you're right. Winifred says, Darlene says the backpack has a name or emblem on it. Yeah, this, I'm going to zoom back in on it. I think this is like that plastic area that you slide in your contact information on. Like our paddleboard bags have that in that exact same spot. And when you carry them, they kind of fall that way, right? They're not really full. I don't know why they make them so big. But yeah, very, very interesting. See what else you guys are saying over here. Oh, holy cow, Grateful 1111 says, I hope the former employer and the current employer are viewing this sketch. I'm wondering if it's a disgruntled employee. Yeah, well, I mean, are there any indications that they were targeted in this? And I'm sorry that you guys can't really see that. I've got to fix this part of my system. Um, I wonder if there's any indication that there is familiarity between the suspect and the victims. From what I've read so far, police haven't released anything like that. But I mean, I think that would be good detective work. Grateful 1111. Start with see if there are any beeves, right? Because beeves is the plural of beef. See if there are any beeves out there. Anybody that's angry, Maybe somebody got fired and he came in to replace them, something like that. I'm sure that police are looking at those angles. Great comment, and thank you for the super chat. Striving for Titus 2. Hiking in July in all black should have made others notice him. Yeah, good point. Good point. Again, there he is. I know the people I travel with would have been questioning his decision-making abilities in our private conversations. Yes. Great comment. I'm scrolling up just to make sure I haven't missed anything. And then Jojo says, "Do you think the shading on the right under his chin is just shading or possible location of an injury?" To me, that just looked like shading, but that's just what it looked like to me. I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. If they knew where the person was injured, I think they would have put that out there. Like, hey, check for an injury on the neck, right? Cooler by the lake. Gavin, could this be a targeted hit? Children were spared. Duct tape on license plate easily removed. Perhaps they were followed from their former home. I think we need to know more about this couple. It's possible that they were targeted. Yes. Susan says there will be some heavy duty PTSD and survivor's guilt. Yeah, those poor kiddos, man. Oh my goodness. I really hope. Um, I really hope they get the help that they need. Canoni's corrupt court says, Gavin, I don't think the man pictured from behind is the suspect. If you look closely, the pictured man has a dark beard showing on his right side, on his face. Let's see. Let me scroll in here real quick, and I'll bring it up for you guys. Over here, I don't know if I see a beard. It's very hard for me to tell. It does, I mean, this over here, it looks like a branch behind him, not a giant beard. On this side, yeah, it's just really hard for me to tell. They did show this guy kind of with stubbly facial hair. I don't know. I don't know. Great comment though. I mean, we're all in the same boat of trying to help solve, right? Try to get as many clues as we can here. Lori says the party has a unique stance, like either knock-kneed or swayed back. Yeah. Of course, he's carrying a giant backpack too. I wonder if he's trying to cover his face. Great Dane Mom, it's humid AF in that neck of the woods. I imagine so in Arkansas. Grateful 1111 says, Gavin, maybe he was camping in the woods, therefore it gets a little more chilly at night. Not sure if it does in Arkansas. Also, it looks like the perp hasn't shaved. Yeah, maybe he's clean shaven, but he's been out in the woods for a while. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, could be. Could be. Well, guys, we're gonna keep on this one. This is like I like the idea of having a community where we try to help and where I mean, most of the time we're trying to learn stuff, but I love it when there are cases, not that I love that there are cases where this kind of tragedy happens, but I love it if we can assist. So again, what are the things that we need to think about? First, if you're in Arkansas and you were driving in that area, did you see a car with tape on its license plate? If you remember where it turned or anything like that, contact police if you saw it. If you were in the park, did you see a guy wearing all black, long sleeves, maybe rolled up at the ball cap, big backpack? Did you see that? And yeah, let's see if we can help this out. Winifred, thank you very much for that super chat. I appreciate it. Before we head out for the day, guys, last thing, shameless self promotion. Please hang out with us over on the Fish Tank if you are on Facebook. Also, keep your eye open for CrimeCod. If you go to my website and click on CrimeCod, that'll take you to crimecod.com. That is my true crime website. My writers will be updating on this case here on crimecod.com. You will also see it published to the front page of my website, gavinfish.com. That's always a great place to go to get more information. Don't forget, baby Gavin's missing, and you can help find him. There's a link down in the description below. Last thing I will say is a deep, heartfelt thank you to all of you for your support, for watching these videos, for commenting in the live chat, for commenting afterwards, for sharing, for liking and subscribing. Wasn't it great to have Elizabeth on last night? That was fun. I love having good guests. Elizabeth is awesome. That was fun to do. We'll have her on again. And thank you to all those who support me through YouTube memberships and Patreon. That goes a long, long way. You know, I am very close to cutting back my day job to just part-time hours. I've already reached out to my employers to talk about what that transition will look like, which is really exciting for me. And as that happens, we're going to be able to make more and more content and make it more and more meaningful. So, and I can't do that without your support. And so thank you. Thank you so much for that. I mean, been working towards this for 4 years, something like that now. And I really love that you guys help me out. You guys are awesome. Okay, so I will see you on the next one. Thank you very much for being here. Until the next time, I bid you adieu. And I ask you, please, please, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.